Hey everybody, this is my entry to puckbond007's contest. Puckbond just got 500 subscribers. Congratulations to you, sir. He is offering prizes for people who make videos for his contest. One prize is the Dazed and Confused Criterion Edition, as well as a toy car related to the movie. The other is the original Transformers film DVD, along with an Optimus Prime toy. Wanted to really like that Dazed and Confused package, so yes, I wanted to enter. He asked those of us who wanted to participate to show off some of our movie memorabilia. That would be, items related to films, not the films themselves. No DVDs, no box sets, no VHS, and no massive Criterion Edition Laserdiscs. So I guess this is out, isn't it? This is my full-size Laserdisc of 7 from the Criterion Edition. But this package was big enough for me to store some memorabilia inside along with the discs, so that's what I did. These are my tickets for 7. The first 4 screenings that I went to, I saved my tickets, and these are them. I wrote on the back of each one, this is the first one, I wrote on the back of each one which crime scene was the freakiest. Sloth, that was pretty nasty. Lust, that was very nasty that second time. I had 2 tickets for that one because I took someone with me. Gluttony, of course, the big enormous guy in the dingy little apartment, and this last one here I put on Wrath because on this occasion I noticed for the first time a flash frame of Gwyneth Paltrow's face during that scene that I hadn't noticed before. So the most memorable crime scenes I wrote on there. Those were my 7 memorabilia. This is another piece right here, the Quick and the Dead soundtrack CD. I have a number of soundtrack CDs. I love original scores for films. This is one of my favorites. Silvestri has done a lot of scores for Robert Zemeckis. He did Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, a number of Zemeckis films, and I think he also did The Abyss for James Cameron. But this is the Sam Raimi Western with Gene Hackman and Sharon Stone and Leonardo DiCaprio and Russell Crowe, and it is a terrific, terrific score. Very kind of upbeat. It's kind of a grim western. It's R for bloody violence, but it's also sort of cartoonish and overly stylized as well, much the cool Sam Raimi way. There's at least like 4 or 5 really good themes, and they're all on this. So I love this soundtrack quite a bit. I own a number of books related to films. I was a big fan of novelizations when I was a kid. Novelizations are basically a paperback book version of the screenplay. Someone is hired to write the movie in paperback novel form, and that's what they do, and they sell that along with the film itself. I bought a few of those over the years. Some of my favorites are RoboCop. RoboCop is a favorite, and The Goonies. Those are favorite novelizations of mine from back in the day. Of course, screenplays. I've bought a lot of screenplays as well. I happen to have a Coen Brothers scripts for The Hudsucker Proxy and Barton Fink and Miller's Crossing, which are all excellent films. But the book that I wanted to show off here is a bit unique. This is not a novelization of Natural Born Killers, although they did print one, and it's quite good. Nor is it the shooting script for the Oliver Stone film. This is the original Quentin Tarantino script. Quentin Tarantino wrote this script before he'd made Reservoir Dogs and eventually sold it. It was eventually made into the Oliver Stone film, but it was rewritten extensively. And so this was a little item that I just had to pick up when I saw it. I would like to read a passage for you, excuse me, from it. Those of you who checked out the DVD know this is the deleted scene in the film involving Mickey acting as his own attorney during a courtroom sequence, and he is cross-examining Ashley Judd, who has testified for the prosecution. Ashley Judd is playing a girl who survived one of Mickey and Mallory's earlier killing sprees. Mickey says, "I'd like to talk about Tim's martial arts abilities." Tim is Ashley Judd's brother. How long had he been studying? He started when he was in 7th grade, so that would make it 9 years. When you study martial arts, they give out belts that come in different colors to signify what level you're at in your training. Am I correct on this point? Yes, you are. What was the color of Tim's belt? The style of fighting that Tim studied didn't believe in belts. Is that a fact? Well then, Grace, could you tell us from what form of martial arts was it that Tim was schooled in? Tim studied several styles, but his favorite was Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do. Now, I did some research on that form of fighting, and I found out that Jeet Kune Do was a style developed by Bruce Lee. Did you know that? Yes, I did. That's why Tim studied it, because it was Bruce Lee's fighting style. Mickey says, now, while I freely admit total ignorance on the subject, I have heard of Bruce Lee, and I was under the impression that Bruce Lee was one of, if not the greatest fighters in the history of martial arts. Grace says, that's what Tim said. Mickey, so I think it would be safe to say that anybody who studied for 9 years the fighting style that Bruce Lee, arguably the greatest martial artist of all time, developed, that would be a fellow who could defend himself. Would you describe Tim that way, Grace? Grace said, yes, I would. Point of fact, weren't Tim's hands registered as lethal weapons? Yes, they were. Well, that means that his hands are considered a weapon like a gun or a knife. Am I correct on that point? Yes, you are. Yet in your testimony just now, you described how Tim kicked me 4 times to the head, and his trained martial arts kicks had little to no effect. Then, after shrugging off 4 blows to the head like I was Superman, I lifted Tim 9 years of Jeet Kune Do Mowbray off the ground and threw him across the room. Then, I took this knife, picks up the knife, and proceeded to tear him limb from limb. And this man whose hands are lethal weapons... Objection! Defense is intimidating the witness with a murder weapon. Mr. Knox, put that knife down. Had little or no defense. I don't know how you did it, says Grace, but you did it. Mickey says, well, how do you think a human being could possibly be capable of doing something like that? Grace says, I don't know. Mickey says, no, I don't believe that, Grace. I think you have a definite opinion on how I was able to do those things you described. Now I'm going to ask you again, and I want you to remember you are under oath. In your opinion, Ms. Mulberry, how was I able to murder your brother, Tim Mulberry, in the manner you described? If you haven't seen that particular deleted scene yet, I'll leave you to see for yourself how it turns out. It's my favorite deleted scene of all time, and I was so disappointed when the movie came out and I saw it in the theater and that scene wasn't there. Anyway, that's my entry for Puck Bond's contest. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.